Alright guys, so Cooking Kingdom has uploaded the patch note for the upcoming update. So we saw the sneak peek yesterday as well as the trailer, but the more detailed version of the patch note is here. So let's look at it together and let's exactly see how this is going to turn out, because I've seen a lot of comments saying that Wind Archer Cookie's skill is going to be absolutely broken. Alright, so I am on Discord because again I am outside, so I don't have the access to my computer. So let's look at it together on Discord because it has all the images and everything as well too. Anyways, alright, so let's look at this September 4th update notice. Greetings from the Kingdom team. Let's take a look at the new features and updates that has arrived with the September 4th update. You can find all the details below. We'll keep working hard to improve your Kingdom experience. Alright, so what is new? We have, of course, legendary Wind Archer Cookie. Alright, let's look at this together here, guys. Wind Archer Cookie is a ranged cookie who uses the skill Last Wind. Upon transforming, Wind Archer Cookie shoots his arrow of gale, pushing back and stunning enemies, and applies the Trace of the Wind and Pursuer debuffs. While transformed, he will become immune to debuffs except for Curse and will shoot his Pursuer's arrow for his regular attacks. Alright, let's look at this real quick. So he does do a little quote-unquote transformation. I mean, from the actual video and stuff, it didn't really look like he was like transforming into anything that's like super special, right? I guess he's just using this quote-unquote transformation to, you know, deal a little bit extra damage. However, there's one catch here. He does transform, and it does say that you know, we have the Trace of Wind and the Pursuer debuff. We don't know exactly what that does, but while transformed, he will become immune to debuffs, right? But they do keep one thing out, and that is the Curse, and that means that Stardust is still able to counter this particular cookie. Alright, which is good, which just makes it so that this cookie is not absolutely broken, because Stardust is one of those best counters to all of the, you know, units that we have had so far. So that is going to be the case. And let's continue. The Pursuer's arrow attacks up to 5 enemies with the highest attack and applies the Trace of the Wind and Pursuer debuff to its targets. Once Pursuer reaches max stacks, it will explode and inflict damage proportional to the target's max HP, damage nearby enemies, and apply the Trace of the Wind debuff. Wind Archer Cookie applies the Mighty Gale buff to himself whenever he shoots the Pursuer's arrow. This Guardian Cookie casts Last Wind, which partially ignores the target's damage resist and inflicts additional damage to enemies proportional to the number of Mighty Gale stacks. Affected enemies will be trapped in a cyclone. When entering the battle, Wind Archer Cookie's max HP increases. Alright, so it does look pretty darn cool. Pursuer's arrows attack Cookie with the highest attack, which means in Arena 2, the DPSs are going to be targeted even if there are some summoned units and etc. And then it does say right over here that once the Pursuer's stack reaches max, it will explode, inflict damage proportional to the max HP, and damage nearby enemies, apply the Trace of the Wind debuff, and you know, the Mighty Gale is going to be applied to himself as well. And it does say that the Mighty Gale stack is going to lead to the Last Wind. Okay, so it does seem like he is going to be a buffed up version of something like Creme Brulee, right, plus Caramel Arrow, because, you know, it does have that little extra final strike. Creme Brulee's skill is very similar to how Wind Archer was as well. And then we also do have the damage resist ignoring and the cyclone as well, which was the one that we did see. So I'm guessing the, you know, final cast of the Last Wind is going to be the giant bird that goes out and attacks the enemies. So it does seem pretty darn good, but doesn't seem super overly OP. Okay, it doesn't seem overly broken. Of course, I could be wrong on this. We don't know the exact numbers and stuff like that, so we have to wait and see. But at least as of right now, it does look pretty darn good. It is unique to this particular legendary, and I would like to see how this legendary turns out once we actually do play with it inside of the game. Alright, let's look at the next one, new costume. Okay, we know that the new costume is coming out. So it does say that equip the legendary costume and you can enjoy a brand new set of voice lines for Wind Archer Cookie. I mean, this is what we had before as well. And then we have the new skill element, alright, which is going to be the wind, and these 5 cookies are going to be applied with the new element, which is Rebel, Pastry, Minchogo, Kumio, as well as, of course, our new Wind Archer. Right, so we do have that. Wind type cookie gains a new buff, Tailwind, that increases their attack speed and damages us with regular attacks. That is kind of busted. So I guess they're starting to do this, like, you know, extra buff to particular elements, because with like dark element we had the consuming darkness debuff as well. And it seems like with the wind element, they're adding the attack speed and the damage resist increase. And this was actually mentioned to me by one of my former guild members, looking at the guild images or the video clips that we had, and it did have some extra like buffs, and it does seem like this is what it is: extra attack speed and damage resist. That means the Rebel, as well as Minchoco, as well as possibly Pastry, are going to be even used for more of Avatar of Destiny, or even for the Living Abyss, and possibly even Wind Archer. Alright, we'll see how this one turns out. But wind type cookie skill changes. Alright, so Mint Choco Cookie. We have reworked Mint Choco Cookie's skill to match the new skill element while preserving his combat role. With levels, Mint Choco Cookie will deal more damage with the skill Mint Gust. So it does seem like they actually made his skill do the gust damage even without the magic candy. So what we saw inside of the video was an upgraded version of his normal skill now, because in the beginning, right, normally he would just do restore some HP and increase attack speed with the for the squad. However, now you guys can see right over here that he does summon a small gust of wind that does do a little bit of knockback and a little bit of damage as well. So if you look at the skill right over here, it says that Minchoco Cookie plays a sublime melody that increases the team's attack speed, applies the warm breeze buff, and grants HP shield to wind type cookies. Upon playing a melodic tone, he inflicts damage on enemies with his mint gust and heals allies HP equal to a proportional of the damage inflicted. Once Minchoco Cookie gains enough tailwind stacks, he will heal his allies once more with the refreshing performance. So I gotta say that it is a slight, in a way, a downgrade on his healing, just because now it's kind of, you know, based on how much damage he does, and he doesn't do that much damage, at least from what we know, right? As a support cookie, his damage is not going to be that great. However, with the new skill, we do get some HP shield, we get more attack speed, and it does look like he does get one more extra, you know, healing if he gets more tailwind stacks. So that's pretty cool. We do have some stats increase as well, so base defense as well as HP has been increased for Mint Choco. Alright, next one is going to be our Pastry Cookie. Alright, so Pastry Cookie also did get a rework as well with her Lightbringer Arrow Ricochet attack. Alright, so it does attack more aggressively. So back then, you know, it would just go and hit multiple enemies, and then it will kind of bounce off, I think, once. I have to go back to see, because it hasn't been, you know, it's been ages since we actually used Pastry. So now the upgraded is Injustice Shall Be Purged. After Pastry Cookie uses her skill, her regular attack becomes more stronger, and she will fire Lightbringer bolts at up to 2 enemies, dealing damage. The bolts will later ricochet, dealing additional damage. Pastry Cookie will gain a Battle Prayer buff, increasing the number of targets according to the attack speed boost rate. She will also increase her attack speed and allies wind type cookies crit. Alright, so does look very, very cool. Alright, and you can see how much time that thing actually bounces in front of you guys. Like, look, compared to the old one, it does like maybe like once or twice, and the number that you see on Pastry's skill now is absolutely bonkers. Okay, of course, it does look like the base number did go down slightly, right, from like 3,000, 2,000 to like, more of like towards the 1,000, 2,000s, and we do see more numbers. All right, I could be wrong because I'm looking at it from afar, but I mean, just the amount of hits that this thing is doing is absolutely crazy. And then we also do have some balances where attack, defense, and HP of pastry cookie has also been increased. Alright, now some adjustment for wind type cookies. Other than that, Rebel cookie has the stats kind of balance. HP has been increased, as well as summon damage, which is your decoys, have also been increased as well. And then Kumio cookie also has some stat increased. Attack has been increased by 37%. Defense, HP, debuff effect has been increased to up to 4 seconds. And the charm has been increased up to 1 second. So possibly used. I don't know if it will really be used, but I mean, Wind Choco and Pastry looks absolutely insane. So with that, we do have the new banner also coming out and featuring the 4 of the epic wind type cookie. So we don't have a new actual epic cookie coming out, but we do have the little element banner that we have had for all the other elements as well. Alright, so we do have that, and then the new resonant topping. I think this one's the one that a lot of people were getting excited for as well, because we haven't had a resonant topping for a long time. So all the wind element cookies are able to go and equip it, featuring Wind Archer, Rebel, Mint Choco, Pastry, as well as Kumio. Alright, and then so it does seem like it's gonna be very similar to everything else, right? Just like the same thing with other resonant topping, only these cookies can equip it, and it will have a increased minimum base stat that you're able to get when you upgrade and get a actual substat. Of course, the maximum is still going to stay the same. Alright, next one is gonna be the new treasures. Alright, so Twinkling Starlight Crown. The crown increases the crit percentage and crit damage of the cookie with the highest attack for a certain period of time when the cookie uses their skill. If this cookie is defeated, the cookie with the next highest attack will gain the buff. So it does remind me of the Sugar Crown as well. So it is a variation, it seems like, of the Sugar Crown, right? But it is, I gotta say, probably a better version of it. Okay, so I want to see how this one turns out, because now this thing can get stacked onto the next, highest attacking cookie. But I don't know how much effect it will actually have inside of the arena. But we do have the Cape of the Vanquisher. So this also looks like a variation of the Enchanted Robe. Alright, this one's era increases all cookies' attack speed and increases wind type cookies' attack speed and damage resist. The cape grants HP shield proportional to the target's max HP once at the beginning of the battle. So it does look like this is literally made for Avatar of Destiny, and honestly any other comps, depending on how much of the attack speed is being increased. But this is probably going to be for Avatar of Destiny, because not only does it increase everybody's attack speed, but even more for the wind type cookies, which, for Rebel as well as Mint Choco. And if Wind Archer is used for something like Avatar of Destiny or even the Living Abyss later on, then you're going to be using this treasure instead. Alright, next one is going to be the event information. Wind Vanquisher of Darkness, which is a story event that we do have, and it does look like it's giving out some extra rewards as well for us. So what dangers await Wind Archer cookie at Dark Enchantress cookie's secret compound? Take a leap of faith into the dark abyss with the Starward Guardian of Nature. And then after that, we do have the information for the summoning of Wind Archer cookie. So it does look like right over here that we have 4 of the event missions, and then once you do get all 4 of them, you're able to get Wind Archer for free. Alright, this was what I was talking about as well inside of the video, and it says collect the spirits of nature and meet Wind Archer cookie. Collect Sea Spirit, Moonlight Spirit, Frost Spirit, and Storm Spirit in the daily gifts, Wind Gem missions, Wind Vanquisher of Darkness event, and Wind Gem Legendary Gacha bonus rewards. So it's a little bit harder than I thought it's going to be. I thought it was going to be really, really easy, but We do have 7-day bonus, so you have to go and log in for 7 days to get the water or the sea spirit. Next one is going to be you have to do 60 of the missions within the wind archer missions to get the moonlight spirit. The frost spirit is it does say you have to watch the story of the Vanquisher of Darkness, and then to get the storm spirit you have to do 100 pulls inside of the gacha. Of course 100 pull is 100% doable for any free-to-play player. It's just that it does take a bit of time, so you're not going to be able to do this right away, but again, it's definitely easier. A little harder to get than Stormbringer. Actually, it might be easier to get, or at least you're able to get it faster because you don't need to log in 10 days. This was only 7 days, and within 7 days you might be able to do 100 pulls, but it just depends on how much you actually play. So in a sense you can get it earlier than Stormbringer, but in the actual like difficulty wise, Stormbringer was easier because you just need to log in, right? So we have that, and we have the new guild boss battle improvements. So each battle will last 1 minute. You know all this detail. I have a whole video talking about this, so I'm not going to waste your time in this video talking about the things that were already actually discussed. So we have again the up to 3 minutes. So we have so you can't join the battle if somebody is doing it. We have the balances where each certain levels the boss will increase in their stats and stuff like that, 150, 100 and 200. And then we have some changes for the Living Abyss. We have some changes for the rounds where only 2 bosses are going to be available per week, and then it's going to go through a rotation, which most likely means that your guilds are going to have to form, 3 different teams for the Living Abyss, Red Velvet Dragon, and Avatar Destiny. We have the quality of life changes where we have practice modes, we have a new dashboard, as well as we have the new like quote-unquote team suggestions of the meta teams. And then we have the more presets that are available to you, and it's already unlocked so that you don't need to spend your crystals just for the guild boss battles. Alright, addition and changes as well for the Gacha of Fate. So the following changes have been made for the Gacha of Fate to make it attaining Beast Cookie and Soul Prisms easier. So it does look like they added a pity system. Alright, so get Apathy and Resolution choice chests and choose between Mystic Flower Cookie or Dark Cacao Cookie's Soul Prism times 20 for each 300 pulls. So it does say that the current number of pulls that you have already done, alright, will be counted towards this 300. So if you already did 300 pulls, then you get a free chest, I guess, or a chest for your hard work. Alright, new Gacha of Fate tokens sources. So it's going to be from extra like login bonus, guild boss battle bonuses. You're able to get some tickets so that you can go and spend it on the actual banner, hopefully reach that 300. With the addition of faithful cookie cutters, the price of legendary ancient cookie gacha tokens has been reduced from 3,300 to 2,500, which is actually really nice, which means that you're able to go and purchase extra 1,000 for a lot less than about 18,000 crystals or something like that, or yeah, something similar to that number if I remember correctly. Alright, but you're able to go and get the cookie cutters as well. 3,000 for 2 is like absolutely robbery, but I mean, yeah, it's there for you guys. That is literal robbery. For 10 pull, you have to spend 30,000 crystals. That is 10 times what you spend on a regular gacha. I don't know if that's worth it, guys. Alright, starting from the next season, Kingdom Pass will include 30 of the faithful cookie cutters as opposed to current 15. Okay, so extra stuff. Costume for the awakened dark cacao cookie. So I guess now you're able to go and wear your old one that you have gotten if you guys would like to use that. Alright, so the epic skin that we have, you're able to go and use it even if you awaken it. And then we have some balances for some other cookies as well. Frost Queen Cookie's base defense actually has been increased, and then the rally effect's different. Freeze damage to cookies and non-cookie targets. So I mean, I guess Frost Queen gets an extra buff. Stormbringer cookie also has been rebalanced. I guess they're doing this because they're kind of making quote-unquote Wind Archer a bit stronger, right? So Stormbringer's Heavenly Splitter single damage has been increased, zap damage increased, final hit increased, and the chain lightning also increased as well. Moonlight's stat has also been changed with the Crystal Jam, right? Let's see this. Base HP increased, protection debuff resist 22.5%. So it has been increased a little bit right there. And then the periodic damage is 33%, and the brilliant starlight damage resist bypass is 35%. So I'm not sure exactly how much it has changed. I think it's like 5% here, 8% here, and like 2.5% here. I don't know how much of a difference this is gonna make for Moonlight Cookie, but it's there for you guys. Alright, Black Pearl Cookie, base HP increased, lightning damage increased, and the whirlpool damage increased as well. And then for Sea Fairy, base attack, base HP increase, and damage to summon creature also even increased further here. So maybe possibly again Living Abyss team with Sea Fairy. We'll see how it goes. Town Square, we have some titles and stuff that has been added. Gacha animation replay. So after the first encounter button to the cookie story screen, where you're able to replay the gacha animation. Choice chest content preview. So it does added a new button to the choice chest, alright, which you can use to preview the chest contents. So I guess in case like you're about to buy something, right, from the shop, or you're trying to get it from the event, you're able to see what is inside of it, because sometimes it has the numbers, right, but we don't know how many epic cookies are there anymore, so you just want to know, hey, is the newest epic cookie included or not? So we have that feature added as well. All right, and then the events. So Wind Archer Cookie has finally joined Cookie Run Kingdom, bringing a whirlwind of gifts with him. So once the update does happen, up till the September 24th, you're able to claim 1,000 of the Wind Gems, which is probably going to be used for you to summon Wind Archer. Faithful Cookie Cutter times 10, Crystal 1500, Rainbow Cube 1500, Radiant Biscuit Dough 50, Legendary Attunement Kit 50, and the Juicy Stamina Jelly 150. Alright, so that's just a login bonus that you do get for the update. Updated Burning Time event, so there's that as well. And that is pretty much what we have gotten for this update, guys. It is a lot of things are being added, a lot of things are being changed. And I gotta say, I'm excited to see what changes are gonna happen with Wind Archer, because the skill looks pretty darn cool. It doesn't seem overly broken again, at least just from reading it. But again, you never know. And I'm actually really excited for Pastry's Magic Candy. That ricochet damage, like the number of hits that it's doing, is absolutely bonkers. Alright, and then we have the legendary costume, and yeah, all those stuff. So I am excited for this update. I want to see how it turns out, and I think it is about time. If you guys are deciding to return to the game, it is a good time to return right now. And I would say return a little bit like today, right before the actual update does drop, so that you have everything set if in case you want to level up the cookies and things like that. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about the update, what you guys are excited for as well. And yeah, I will catch you guys all in the next one. If you haven't checked out the other videos that I have for this update, then it will be in the screen right in front of you.